The Lake Forest Podcast is supported by viewers, listeners, and businesses just like you. Michelle Parno has lived and worked in Lake Forest for over 2 decades. Michelle's lending experience, when combined with her real estate expertise, makes her an invaluable asset to her clients as they navigate their home buying or selling process. Call Michelle now at 847-528-8721, 847-528-8721. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Iliad Epic Grow. Owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich, they are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Laracy & Company CPAs, founded in 2010 by Lake Forest's own Brian Laracy, specializes in tax preparation and bookkeeping services. Earning the People Love Us on Yelp award, their process is straightforward. Just upload, review, and file. For a free quote, visit LaracyCPA.com now. That's LARISEYCPA.com. I'm excited to share with you something special from our Lake Forest community, the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa, located at 775 North Bank Lane in Lake Forest near Wisconsin Avenue. This just isn't any spa. They offer an amazing blend of traditional spa services plus the added benefit of medical procedures and treatments. In a relaxing and luxurious spa environment, you can enjoy a range of cosmetic and aesthetic treatments. These are all performed under the supervision of top medical professionals. The Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa provides skin care, facial rejuvenation, body contouring, laser hair removal, Botox, dermal fillers, chemical peels, and much more. What's great is that each treatment is tailored not just to enhance your appearance, but also to address specific skin concerns and to promote overall well-being. So if you're looking to pamper yourself and take your beauty routine to the next level, give the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa a call at 224-768-8028 or visit them at their location on North Bank Lane. It's an experience your skin will thank you for.
What's up, brother?
Top of the morning.
Bottom of the afternoon.
Bottom of the fifth. McManus' favorite part of the McManus.
Who's on first?
That's a terrible joke. I apologize.
We'll edit it out in post. So, boys lacrosse, state champs.
Yeah, go Scouts. Go Scouts. I'll toast to that. This is water for the kids. But yeah, that's awesome news. They are the state champions. They won out in somewhere in DuPage County, I believe they won, right?
I have no idea. If anybody knows the coach.
You know, if we had a lacrosse, is John Kerr a lacrosse expert like he is football and basketball, or this is about
I think he's a scout expert. So we'll we got to get him on the clue.
Because I know nothing. And I'm going to guess you know nothing too.
I know
about
less
lacrosse.
than you. I know less than you about lacrosse.
Did they have lacrosse at your high school?
No. I think that was more reserved for the New Triers of the world, the Winnetkas of the world, the Lake Forest.
I don't even think back in the 80s. I'm not even sure it was even here. I mean, it really was kind of an East Coast thing. And you look at the whole history. It actually started with the Native Americans, original Americans, whatever you want to call them. They were playing. I read up on this because I was kind of trying to prepare for the show to pretend I knew something about lacrosse. And it started. They started playing it, and that's kind of how I guess lacrosse means the stick in French. The French gave it that name, in Canada, and it was an East Coast thing, and now it's taking off. It's not just North Shore now. I know somebody that goes to their kid goes to the high school in whatever it is in Tinley Park, and that school has a lacrosse team. So it's growing by leaps and bounds, and the boys lacrosse team won the state championship, and the girls, shout out to them, the ladies came in 4th in the state. So I guess that makes Lake Forest the capital of lacrosse in the state of Illinois for at least the next year. I don't know the history there.
Kudos.
My question is, and somebody, maybe Scoo Walker or somebody much more knowledgeable.
Walker, yeah.
Is this the first state championship in Lake Forest High School history? I'm going to guess no. In the 90 years or whatever the high school's been here, that they've won
I'm
at
sure
least
there was like
one other state.
a spelling bee, math test.
Somebody out there's got to know all this.
Well, we can see if anybody. Hey, I know nobody's listening or watching, but if somebody just happens to know somebody that also isn't listening or watching, that's a coach of lacrosse or whatever, hook us up. Let's have them come on.
Yeah, but shout out to the boys for winning the state championship, and shout out to the girls. That's a great job making it to the Final Four there.
Double
in the
shout out.
IHSA for that. So great job, guys.
A little known fact: Jim Brown, hell of a lacrosse player, running back for the Browns. Yeah.
Well, there is,
Syracuse,
you do run back and up and down the field, kind of like football, right? I mean, no tackling
like soccer,
you had. Everything but baseball.
In Chicago, we didn't call it lacrosse. We called it Louisville Slugger. Somebody owed you money.
Have you ever held a lacrosse ball?
No, I've never held that ball.
Okay. You don't want to get hit by that thing. They got to have like really, really good gear on. Because that thing is, I mean, you think getting hit by a baseball is bad? That thing is like instant death. You ever been if you get hit by that thing going really
You ever been hit
without any equipment on or whatever? So I'm glad they got all the. I can't imagine how this game was played before they thought of headgear. But
you ever been hit by a cue ball at 2 a.m.?
Can't say that I have.
Talk about a stick.
But hey, I just think it's great. This is going to be great memories for all those guys. I mean, at their 50-year reunion, they'll still be talking about when they won the state championship for lacrosse. So shout out, go Scouts!
Shout out, go Scouts! Oh,
and they got a shout out at the city council meeting by the mayor pro tem this week.
First off, on the agenda, comments by the mayor. Normally, Randy would offer these up, but I thought I'd cobble together a few that I think are noteworthy. First off, I want to acknowledge and congratulate Lake Forest High School boys lacrosse team for winning the state championship. So it's really quite an accomplishment. I'm proud of them. They talk about the Scout Nation, and they've made us proud.
How about
Mayor Tack is out of town enjoying a well-deserved vacation with his family, and Alderman Goshgarian, who is now, I guess, one of the senior aldermen. He's in his final, year of his term. He was the mayor pro tem, and one of his first things in his mayoral remarks was praising the Lake Forest Scouts lacrosse team. So, congratulations, and congratulations from the mayor pro tem.
He's working on that mayor look, the way he grabs his glasses like that, when he speaks. Especially when he says Dr. Powers. That's inside baseball. So, okay, you brought up the city council meeting. They had the nice showing of the historical houses. Anybody that spent over $1 million fixing up their place, and going through all the hoops and hurdles.
Yeah, I watched all those slides. I mean, look, I think that part of what the Historical Preservation Foundation does is terrific. I think that's great to honor homeowners for what they're doing with their property. I think where the respectful disagreement I've had with some of their members, not the executive director, who gave a nice presentation and I believe is retiring
17 years
this year after 17 years.
Colleagues, had any questions or comments? Nancy, Alderman Novit.
I want to thank Marcy for the work she has been doing for how many years?
17.
17 years. Marcy's retiring from the Preservation Foundation this summer.
Thank you. I know I wasn't going to say anything, but thank you.
How do we not acknowledge that? It's phenomenal, the amount of information you brought to light And thank you for leading the group so diligently and so effectively all these years.
It's been a wonderful job. It's a wonderful community. I feel so lucky to be involved in all the things that have really been preserved and the education that we've helped in the community. So thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But I think some of their members,
Miss
joined
Kerr.
in that.
Miss Kerr.
Yeah. So, but some of their members joined in that block the box lawsuit against the city, which ended up getting thrown out in court, but cost the city.
So those were the same people too? I'm losing track of all these historical preservation. I'm on the cash preservation committee.
Aren't we all these days?
What's how many preservation things are there?
Well, there's a lot of history to preserve here, so I'm all for it. I think we have a terrific history. There's a lot of tours you can take. Debbie and I are taking a tour this weekend of one of them, and I can't remember the name.
Still stands. How many? Yeah, because there's.
Well, there's the History Center or whatever they used to be called, the Historical Society. And that's a really neat center, and they're expanding it and stuff. And the guy that runs it day to day, I believe his name is George. He does a nice job there. So he's a Lake Forest College graduate.
But there's that church that's a Lake Bluff, Lake Forest Historical Society.
Yeah, well, there's a history of Lake Bluff, man. Each town's got to have their history, right?
Okay, so, but how many different societies are there? So you're saying because there's a lot
secret societies, Pete. No.
Well, which one is the good one? I guess.
Well, there's
Kerr's the good one?
I am sure there's distinctions that somebody's going to point out to us after hearing this. But there's the historical history centers that you see in each town, and Lake Forest has a very nice one. I've not been to the Lake Bluff one, so I can't tell you one way or the other, but my experience, it's always neat to go there, take your kids, learn about the history of where you live. There's a lot of cool stuff. I mean, and it's not just ancient history. I'm sure
the kids are going to love that.
Well, but there's a good exhibit about the history of the Bears in Lake Forest, and I think a lot of kids would be interested in that. They're more interested in having the Bears win a Super Bowl, but I think there's a lot of cool stuff in this city and Market Square and everything. That said, like we were talking about a minute ago, you have to have a balance between historical preservation and what I call hysterical preservation.
Yeah, which one's the hysterical? That's what I'm saying. Which is the bad one?
I don't know. There's a lot of overlap, I'm sure, in their members, but I don't know. I wish.
What year should we be stuck in?
I've asked that question. What is the year you want the city to stop?
1984, just like the Jewels.
I like 1984, so I'm cool with that. I'd like to go back to the 80s, but Market. I said this before. Market Square. Yeah. If these people had been around, or some of these people, maybe not all, but if these people had been around when the idea came before the Lake Forest City Council to build Market Square, they would have been, oh no, you can't do that. It's going to ruin everything and the history there of whatever was there before, which was probably a farm. Or there were some buildings, I understand, but you can't. History is a working thing, and I certainly want to preserve. We've got a lot of stuff preserved, right? Ragdale, Market Square has been very wonderfully preserved, though they had to step in a few years ago and update a lot of the stuff in Market Square safety-wise, like the electrical and the plumbing and stuff. Because if you've ever seen a historical building that has not been touched,
all that artwork to go up in flames.
There's some good businesses there besides the art galleries. We do have a little bit of sales tax revenue coming in.
I don't think those cooking pans will go up in flames. Starbucks, that's okay.
Well, we got Starbucks. Well, there's a new competitor now in is it at Market Square on Deer Path? Once Upon a Bagel, which just opened up.
That's just on Deer Path. Good luck.
Now, I've talked about this like a couple shows where my first job in high school was partially working at the Haagen-Dazs store on Deer Path. It's that property that is now Once Upon a Bagel. I worked
It was
in
once
there.
upon a pizza place.
Once upon an ice cream. Well, it was
place.
ice cream when I was there. I was serving ice cream to the 85 Bears back in the day. And people that lived here in the 80s may remember that. But I walked in there when it was the pizza place when I first moved in, and I said, "Hey guys, I don't want to buy the pizza," which is probably why they went out of business. But I said, "Hey, I worked in here like 35 years ago. Can I just look around for sentiment?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." So none of them were even 35 years old. And I think the only thing left from when I worked there was the walk-in freezer in the back, because it's kind of hard to move out a walk-in freezer. But everything else had been gutted from my day there, and I'm sure it was gutted again for this new place. But I hear it's pretty good and it's a nice alternative to Einstein. So good luck to them. It's always nice to see a new business opening here in town.
Okay.
But back to your historical question.
Well, the reason
There is a balance, but the presentation at the council meeting, all the stuff they showed, I have no problem with that. That's people taking their own personal money and investing in the property that they own to fix it up or maintain it. There were some examples of they had a couple new houses that are made to look historical. I mean, you could argue this one is that I'm sitting in. It's only 20 years old, but people come into it and they think it's much older. So I'm cool with that. I'm a student of history. I'm totally cool with that. But you can't let history get in the way of progress. There's a very delicate balance there, and I think the smart people in this city get that, and I think the majority of people in this city get that. They're never going to turn Market Square into Woodfield Mall, all right? But adding some parking, I think, would benefit everybody. And I'm sorry if it's next to somebody's house who says they're for free market principles, but doesn't want a free market at Market Square. So, but
off the record, I got somebody that says they're desperate to give out these awards and they got to keep people happy for jumping through the hoops. So they got to give.
Okay, well, that's fine.
All right, fine.
Fine.
Got it.
I
know
got no
I'm not
problem with
getting
that. Doesn't cost the city any money to give out the awards, right? So
No, but the people that already got the awards are, it's a competition. Oh, they don't deserve it. My house is better than that.
maybe can I enter my house?
I want to enter my house as not ever being qualified.
In the category of not being qualified, we recognize
the best.
Peter Janson's home on.
Thank you. the pride of Granby Street.
They have pictures of like your Fry Fest backyard and your studio there.
Who cares about the whole what was that house that just sold or got an offer on, the Home Alone house? And okay.
In Winnetka.
This fine basement right here, I'm telling you, they're not going to change a thing back in this basement.
Well, when was your house built?
Oh, 1984.
That's why you want it to stop in 84, huh? 84. You want to be the last one that moves in, just like everybody else. All right.
By the time the show comes out, it'll be already past it, but the 80th anniversary of D-Day.
Yeah. I mean, I always think, that picture they always show of the guys in the boat getting ready to land.
Pearl, yeah.
You know that most of the guys in that picture, that was the last day they were alive.
Of course.
So, I mean, you really get, and these were kids. I mean, these guys are like my son's age. And they did amazing stuff. And if you ever go, I had the privilege I've never been to Normandy, though I'm told it's really cool. But I've been to Dover, England. It's where all the cruise ships dock from England, and that's why we were there a few years ago. And it's beautiful white cliffs and stuff. And that was the site of what they called the Dover Deception. So Dover is physically the closest place in England to France. It's like, I think like 15 or 20 miles away from the French coast. So they staged, remember, this is 1944. They staged an entire army there to make the Nazis think that that's where the launch was going to come from. Meanwhile, down the coast, the real army was waiting, and they moved in, and the element of surprise helped them take back France. So, I don't know. You could not pull that off today with the internet and all this stuff now. I mean, somebody would take a picture and post it on Twitter or whatever, but that is just amazing planning. I mean, that was Dwight Eisenhower and those other generals there, but but the grunt work that those guys did, and there's a few D-Day survivors left, God bless them. I feel like really insignificant when I see a combat veteran and what they've been through, because nothing I've been through in my life compares remotely to what they did.
Well, kids today, if you're going to take them out for, a trip on the Riviera or whatever, stop by Normandy, stop by the less brave statue. I believe it's what it's called. Get a guy, take a tour, go through the church. The blood is still on the pews of the church on Normandy there, and get a little taste of what's going on to put things in perspective. So 80th anniversary, pour one out for all of them.
Yeah, and always check out the memorial we've got at Deer Path in Green Bay here. If you can't make it out to Europe, there's names there of guys that served and unfortunately didn't come home in World War II from Lake Forest. So there's a long tradition of service here in Lake Forest, including now. I mean, you saw that we had the young man speak at the Memorial Day ceremony a couple weeks ago. So still guys giving it their all in the U.S. military. So thank you to all of them.
All right, let's talk War of the Worlds, Joe.
Okay, Orson Welles.
I could be.
You could. Yeah, now that I think about it, you got the hat going and all that. How about you get the little glass of wine? What was that commercial he did with the?
Oh, he was hammered all the time.
We will sell no wine before it's time. That was him, right?
Yeah, that was him. But these damn cicadas, man. It sounds like War of the Worlds out there. You open up the door. It's like,
yeah, it is. I went out yesterday for a little bit, and I actually recorded it with my phone. And I here's why, because it happens every 17 years.
yeah.
So I remember, I got two teenagers, one away at college, one in high school. I remember them being little babies 17 years ago with the last round of cicadas. And I remember we took them outside to listen to it and show them and stuff like that. So it is, to me, and I've read a couple of articles like this, it's the passage of time. Like it's a line in your life of a lot happens in 17 years, right? And then you add it up 34 years and 51 years. So we won't see him again for another, 17 years. It's amazing to me how they know, hey, 17 years, let's go. It's go time. So
I think it's like 90 decibels or whatever. And
it's I can hear him right now. I don't know, you always hear my bird on the show here, our bird.
Yeah.
I had a little parakeet here, but maybe one day we'll show him on the show. But
what's the name of the parakeet, Fredo?
It's Angel.
Angel.
Because they used to be two. One was blue, one was white when the kids were little. And they came up with the names Blue and Angel. And unfortunately, Blue is no longer with us.
Did it crash?
No, it just passed away one day. So
how long the parakeets last?
they can last a long time. I mean, I'm not a pet expert.
Do you have a cat?
Nope. This is the only animal. This is the only pet we have. We used to have fish. We used to have some gerbils. At one point, we had a rabbit,
Do tell
and
them
they've all passed on. And the bird is the last one, and that's it for the pets for the Weiss family.
All right. So the cicadas seeing another 17 years. I'm sure this podcast will still be going, and we'll still be
Hey, just as long as they don't mess up your plants. I heard you got to cover. A lot of people are waiting on putting new landscaping in until after the cicadas are gone, and you see all the nets up for newer plants to be protected. So, but if you can make it through that, just deal with it. It's a little noise. So what? I mean, it's once every 17 years.
I don't care about the noise. I care about, depending on the part of town you're on. I don't know if it's because of the sun or whatever, but like you can be one part of town and there's like nothing, and then it's like a carpet of these things.
Oh, they're all over here in Middle Fork.
It is the west side. It's probably what it is.
Yeah. It's the hood.
East side doesn't allow that stuff.
Fake forest or whatever they call it.
So, well, I guess speaking of fake forest, couple losses last week. I mean, we did a breaking news on it, but looks like the L42Q community is trying to spin that thing. A victory.
LF4T for the record.
For T.
Like Forest for Transparency, which I hope one day they'll be if they continue, that they'll be transparent in their finances with us, but whatever. Yeah, they finally posted something you sent me this morning right before the show. They finally posted their acknowledgement of it. I was kind of waiting for that. And it sounded I don't know, conciliatory. I guess when you get your butt kicked like that, 27 and what was it, 73.5? So what's the reverse of that? 26, and when you only get 26.5% of the vote, you probably should be a little conciliatory. But that said, I think things are going in the right direction here. We had Joe Oriti on, and he pretty much said what he said in that email that they're referring to. So that's great news. Obviously the next thing is the slating of the candidates for, mayor, city council, and school boards. We'll see how that goes, and I'm sure we'll be here to talk about it and make sure everybody. But I think the moral of the story here is when everybody, when the people speak, they speak positively about the caucus and about city government, the mayor, the city council, overwhelmingly. I think you have a small group that had concerns, some legit, some not. But clearly they were in the minority. And I said that from day one, and the silent majority was not so silent.
Well, I think the thing to pay attention to is never take anything for granted. Don't take the votes for granted. I don't think we'll ever see a 1 hour window for voting again.
I'd like to see remote voting of some kind, but that's a bylaw change. Got to have a meeting to do a bylaw change. And
well, they're going to be busy on it, but it's like there's enough to go around. This thing's been going on for a while, so that
kind of reminds me of when all the boards and commissions and state legislators had to start meeting remotely during COVID. They all had to meet in person to pass some kind of rule that said they could meet remotely. So it's kind of like, hey, we got to. And I don't think the state legislature ever did pass it. They tried to, and it didn't get the votes, even though the Democrats controlled the state legislature pretty handily here. But I don't know.
So, well, we'll have fun with our L42QB community.
Stop. LF4T. It should be LF4NT because they're not for transparency of themselves. But okay. I'll be conciliatory. I'll be, as George W. Bush said, a uniter, not a divider, and take the high road.
Okay, we'll let it
I
go.
don't want to be a sore. You don't be a sore winner. That's a better phrase.
Let's talk about another loser here, Trump. What the hell's going to happen?
One soap opera after another, sir. I don't know.
Okay, sir.
I know. I don't know, except I know one thing.
Yeah.
Trump will not win Illinois, and Trump will definitely not win Lake County.
No
So that's
shit.
a hint that's a hint to anybody running around here. If you run on the Trump brand, you're going to get Trump numbers here, which is
Yeah,
not good.
but what's going to happen? He's going to get probation. Like he's never been. Can he?
I guess
can he
when's
still-
the sentencing? The sentencing's when?
Dude, I'm asking you, Mr. Republican.
I don't, I don't really, it's not my universe, man. I just,
It's not your universe. Okay.
I don't, look, I
Okay,
have
Mr.
no control.
Transparency.
I
Who's
have no
transparent now?
control. I have zero control of who the president of the United States is going to be. I live in a non-swing state. So my vote for president really doesn't matter. Am I going to vote? Yes.
Okay.
I'm far more focused on who the Lake County State's attorney will be than who the president of the United States will be, because
Okay.
that's going to affect my life a lot more and your life.
Okay, thanks
a
for
lot
the
more.
diversion. But can Trump run for president or no?
Right now, the answer is yes. I don't know if the answer can, I guess it's going to wind up in the Supreme Court.
Yeah. So that means
And-
it'll go past the election. Then.
And that's why they were trying to get, which Supreme Court justice was it that had the flag upside down at his house?
Oh, is that who did that?
Yeah, there
I
was
keep track of this crap. I just want to know is Trump.
It's one of the Alito, Samuel Alito.
Okay.
His wife, what he says, his wife put the flag up. He wasn't home, didn't know about it, asked her to take it down. She refused for like a day or two. And finally, he got Mrs. Alito to take it down. It's stupid, right? I mean,
Well, hold on. When you put the flag upside down, isn't it a universal distress thing? Okay.
it's a political statement, basically. It comes from in war, the flag upside down was a sign of distress.
Okay.
And I've seen people in both sides of the political spectrum do that over the years. When Trump won, I saw Democrats doing that. And I think it's silly. I mean,
Can a convict be president of the United States?
we're going to find out.
Felony.
I don't know. It's never happened. This is uncharted waters, Pete.
Well, but
and
the
I'm not a
rules have to be there,
constitutional
right?
lawyer. The issue
You're
is
making me look it up.
here's the issue that as I see it, and somebody much smarter than me can correct me, which is very easy to do. He was convicted in a state court, the state of New York. He was not, I think it's if you're a convicted felon in federal court, then you can't hold office. Remember, Rod Blagojevich was convicted
Yes, Donald
in
Trump can
federal.
still run for president, even if he's convicted of a felony. The U.S. Constitution sets the qualifications for the presidency and does not prohibit a convicted felon from running.
There you go.
All right.
But what happens if he's in jail by inauguration day?
While felony conviction.
How does he get sworn in jail and he governs from the prison? I don't know. Look, if he wins, I mean, and does this conviction hurt him or help him? I mean, it boosts.
He made a lot of money.
Base. He made a lot of money. Absolutely. It boosts his base. I see all my very conservative friends saying, this makes me want to vote for him more. Well, you were already voting for him. What about those swing voters, especially in the swing states like Wisconsin? Like if you're really, if all you care about is who's winning the presidential election, you don't care about the local elections.
Didn't say he didn't care.
Move to Wisconsin because that's a swing state.
It's in the news now, Joe.
I know.
Okay.
I know, but it's not really Lake Forest news. I mean, it is Lake Forest and the rest of the country, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm concerned how it affects other races down the ballot.
So who's going to attach their name to Trump then? Anybody?
No one who wants to win around here.
So nobody in Illinois.
Yes, I'm sure Southern Illinois they will, and I'm sure other parts of Illinois, and I'm sure some candidates that are more interested in being right than winning they will be all gung ho for them, and good luck and Godspeed with that. But there's other places where it works. Look, I always use the Walmart analogy. Okay, so you go in, or any store, but Walmart particularly. So you go into a Walmart around here and versus a Walmart in Wisconsin, and it's pretty much the same merchandise, right? Except you go into the area where they sell like the sports stuff, and you go around here, they sell Chicago Bears stuff. But you go to one in Wisconsin, they sell Packers stuff. Now, Bears fans and Packers fans don't like each other, right? They're arch rivals. But Walmart knows, hey, in Illinois, we sell Bears stuff. And in Wisconsin, we sell Packers stuff. And I'm sure, you go to Texas, they sell Dallas Cowboys stuff. So it's knowing where you are, and you mark and you adjust to that. So if you run hard right in an area like Lake Forest, you're going to lose. But if you run, conservative on fiscal issues, but more moderate on the social issues, you'll win. The history, the data has proven that time and time again here. So people say
you go to Walmart in Illinois or Wisconsin, and still they're both a freak show.
But it's a freak show with, the trick to Walmart is you go before 10 o'clock in the morning. If you go after 10, that's when the freak show shows up. But you go before then, it's the normal people shopping, and the either senior citizens or moms getting their stuff for their kids. It's a normal crowd. After 10, that's when you want to avoid it.
Then on the Walmart note, Costco is keeping their hot dog combo at $1.50.
Yeah.
The economy.
My son is a happy guy over that.
That's a heck of a deal. That is
it is, man. I mean, you get the drink and the hot dog and $1.50. I mean, it's not a bad hot dog. I mean, it's no left bank, but
the Sims family would have something else to say about that. Maybe we should have
get them on. Yeah, we're going to work on that one. We got a few good guests coming up the next few weeks that I'm working through. So we'll get everybody on.
Are we on good terms with everybody now, or where are we at?
When were we not on good terms with anybody,
I
sir?
know. I guess
this show brings people together. Hey, we had 3,000. I think we had more viewers of the breaking news about the caucus vote than there were voters in the caucus vote. So basic math.
At the end of the day, it's about 1,000 people that we got. The rest of it.
All right. Well, in a town of what is it, 18,000 or whatever? That's a pretty good percentage. I'll take that number, right?
Naples and
I just was at something the other day, and somebody comes up to me and says, I know you from, where have I seen you?
He's looking at your lapel pin.
No, I didn't. I was dressed in regular clothes.
He said, Brad Schneider, how are you?
Yeah, no. And since they took my picture down from the post office, it wasn't there that they knew me from. No, but I mean, people watch this. I get people, I'm sure you get people too, coming up to you saying, hey, I really enjoyed it. It's one of a few sources of info I get in Lake Forest.
Say this. Can I mention your name? No. Anonymously.
But seriously, I mean, that's how I got drawn to it. When I first moved here, I was trying to just find out what's going on in my new city, and I Google Lake Forest news, and what comes up? Lake Forest podcast.
There we go. So we have, I think the Lake Forest Day Parade is going to be in August 6th, 7th. So we're starting.
Are we marching again?
I think, well, let's see if we're going to have people to march with us. I'm not walking that thing again. I'm going to get on like a platform.
You want to get in the Pope Mobile and ride?
One of those.
You need the bulletproof. Do you need the bulletproof glass when you go by the Lake Forest School Book Depository there?
I want to ask if any of our listeners or viewers out there could donate a couple donkeys.
The Kennedy family are going to be mad at me now.
Donate a couple donkeys to walk us down the strip.
No,
I'll bring the bucket and the broom.
I was about to say, have you ever been at a parade with live animals? It's not. It's not pleasant.
I've been in a meeting with live animals. So here we're going into let's see, first week of June. When is that walkway going to get finished? When can I start bringing the old case of?
I think isn't it? they started early on it, right? So as to kind of get a good chunk of the season in.
Yeah.
Remember that they had an update. They didn't have an update this week, but they had an update a couple meetings ago on it. So I like the little video that they keep showing where it goes down and then it pivots.
Oh, the
and-
switchbacks. Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure it'll be like, and the people all look so happy on it. Like,
They don't show the picture of me with a rope trying to lower my cooler down.
are you not to get you in trouble, but are you allowed to do that?
Allowed to do what? Bring a case of Coke down there? Of course. If they open up the dang store down there. Thank God, Randy got the booze allowed down there, but they're never open.
Another great accomplishment in the TAC administration, which is why we should reelect him, right?
Duly noted. Hey, can you get me a pen? What
do you want? You want this one?
No,
what do you want? Just the flag, or what do you want?
I'm gonna make a Lake Forest podcast pin, and
all right, well, yeah, let's make them.
I'm gonna make that.
You should make. Hey, we should get something for the parade, like a polo or something, or a T-shirt.
A T-shirt, a thinking cap.
Well,
right.
Get it. You should get a Lake Forest podcast thinking cap.
Absolutely.
I mean, we should get a whole brand. You should get a mug. Although I like my Scouts mug. But you had the beer thing, right? What was it? The beer?
The koozies.
Yeah, the koozies. But then you had those glasses, right?
Yeah, we got some beer glasses.
We got some here. We got the glasses, a couple of those glasses. They're really tall, though, man.
Well,
I guess it's for the tall, cold ones, right?
That is true. So
nobody drinks lemonade in those.
Well, we need depending our mics. So we need some viewers, listeners to chime in if they want to join us. We need some guests that, we got some people scheduled, but we need more people. More people are crabbing about, it's all political. Well, that's all people are talking about. So,
Well, I've heard that rap too. And we've done non-political shows about sports and local businesses, and we'll continue to do that, though I think the political shows get more views. That said, if you live in a city that has elections every year, which we do, you're going to have a constant political cycle. So, maybe that's something to talk about in the future. I am all for term limits. I think term limits are great. I'm glad we have them. You can see cities that don't have them and what happens, aka Highland Park. But I don't know about having something every year and the mayor having to run every 2 years. That might be a little excessive because you're constantly on a campaign cycle, basically. I mean, Congress does, the House of Representatives at least, is every 2 years. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't want to go to lifetime elected people like,
well, let's let
the mayor of Highland Park or that trustee or city alderman or whatever he was, that the bow tie guy that I have been on this council since
I brought these 10 commandments. And I know he was there.
That's the 17 historical, what was it? The condition, what do they call it? The 17 standards. It was 20, but he dropped one. Mel Brooks.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Those awards, is that part of that standards committee? Is that the same people?
I'm sure I'm sure, I hope they vetted all of them for the 7. It'd be a shame if one of those winners didn't meet the 17. Like, whoops, we missed that.
There's a bunch of people picketing City Hall the other day. They didn't deserve it.
Hey, ho, ho, historic. All right.
Their Pinot out there. Okay.
Is it Pinot Noir or Pinot Grigio?
No idea. None. If it doesn't come in a box, I don't know it. Joe Weiss, another riveting episode of the Lake Forest Podcast. It's nice to have a calmer week. Well, not really that calm. It's not even a quiet week because those damn War of the World cicadas out there.
They won't hurt you. They don't bite. I'm more worried about mosquitoes.
Ever step on one? You're not stepping on one.
Can't say that I have, sir.
Okay, sir. Watch it.
Oh, people are putting them in their, why don't you put it in your Malort? I saw somebody online, they put it in their Malort.
The only,
Like that.
the only thing that goes in Malort is my fingers. That's all it goes in.
Everyone in Chicago Chicago area should try Malort once. And I mean once. Okay.
It's overrated. All right, Joe.
All right, well, I promise we're going to have a guest next week. So people don't have to listen to the two of us talk.
Hey, if you don't like it, step off. Adieu. The Lake Forest Podcast is supported by viewers, listeners, and businesses just like you. Michelle Parno has lived and worked in Lake Forest for over 2 decades. Michelle's lending experience, when combined with her real estate expertise, makes her an invaluable asset to her clients as they navigate their home buying or selling process. Call Michelle now at 847-528-8721, 847-528-8721. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Iliad Epic Grow. Owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich, they are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Laracy & Company CPAs, founded in 2010 by Lake Forest's own Brian Laracy, specializes in tax preparation and bookkeeping services. Earning the People Love Us on Yelp award, their process is straightforward. Just upload, review, and file. For a free quote, visit LaracyCPA.com now. That's LARISEYCPA.com. I'm excited to share with you something special from our Lake Forest community, the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa, located at 775 North Bank Lane in Lake Forest near Wisconsin Avenue. This just isn't any spa. They offer an amazing blend of traditional spa services plus the added benefit of medical procedures and treatments. In a relaxing and luxurious spa environment, you can enjoy a range of cosmetic and aesthetic treatments. These are all performed under the supervision of top medical professionals. The Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa provides skin care, facial rejuvenation, body contouring, laser hair removal, Botox, dermal fillers, chemical peels, and much more. What's great is that each treatment is tailored not just to enhance your appearance, but also to address specific skin concerns and to promote overall well-being. So if you're looking to pamper yourself and take your beauty routine to the next level, give the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa a call at 224-768-8028 or visit them at their location on North Bank Lane. It's an experience your skin will thank you for. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters, Otto, John C., Helen, Herrick, and J.M. The Lake Forest Podcast is supported by viewers, listeners, and businesses just like you.